Hey guys, as you probably already guessed from the title, today I'm going to be talking about breast pumps. So, if you're having a little bit of trouble figuring out exactly what type of breast pump you want to buy, or if you just want a little bit more of the pros and cons of the actual Medela Harmony or the Medela Pump N Style, then keep watching. So a little background info on myself and my use of these pumps. I use these pumps a lot for about a year. I'm currently still breastfeeding my almost 14-month-old, but I don't pump anymore because she doesn't nurse as much. She was exclusively breastfed until she was 6 months, which is when we started solids. And I started school when she was 5 months old, so I had to pump enough to have milk for when I was gone. I was never gone more than like 5 hours a day, but I still had to pump enough so that she had milk while I was gone. And although I did use both of these quite a lot, it's definitely not necessary to have a manual and an electric pump, even if you're going to return to work or school. Both of these pumps are absolutely amazing. I love both of them equally a lot. But depending on your situation, you will benefit from either a manual or electric pump, and that's what I'm going to talk about now. Let's start with the Medela Harmony, which is the manual pump. This pump I think will be more beneficial for moms who are not going to pump a lot. Moms who are going to pump occasionally or once a day, this one will be very convenient for you. Also, since it's so inexpensive compared to an electric pump, I think getting a manual pump, if you're not sure how long you're going to breastfeed, will be more ideal. A manual pump usually retails for about $50, and an electric pump goes for over $300. One of the great things about this pump, or any manual pump, is that they're usually really small, and you can just put them in your bag and take them with you. I literally used to take this pump with me to school, and if I got really engorged, I would just pump in the bathroom or in my car. You can't really do that with an electric pump. This pump does bring like a carry bag. I wasn't going to carry this big carry bag plus my book bag, so this one was perfect for that. Another cool thing about the manual pump is that you control exactly how fast you pump and the suction. This pump is also really comfortable. I know a lot of people think if you're like pumping, your hand is gonna get tired. I used to pump for about 20 minutes and my hand never got tired. Like, it's really comfortable, it's smooth, so you're not like really putting much force. This manual pump actually has great suction. I would get the same amount of milk that I did with the electric pump in the same amount of time. I mean, obviously it was only from one breast, so it was half of the milk in reality, but I'm saying if I pumped one breast with the electric pump and pumped one breast with the manual pump, I would get the same amount of milk in the same amount of time. So the suction on this pump is amazing. And which brings me to maybe like my only con or negative about a manual pump is you're not going to get as much milk as you will with an electric because it's only one, unless you bought two manual pumps and pump both of your boobs at the same time. But that's pretty much the only negative thing I would have to say about a manual pump. Now onto the electric pump. This pump is more for moms who are going to pump every single day more than once a day. I feel those are the moms who are going to benefit the most from this pump. So like student moms, working moms, moms who are going to feed their child breast milk but not from the breast. Anyone who's going to be pumping a lot. Also, if you're having a lot of trouble with your milk supply and you need to pump a lot to increase your supply, an electric pump is going to be your best friend. It was definitely my best friend. I said I started school when Zoe was still being exclusively breastfed. And even after she started solids, at 6 months, she wasn't really eating a lot of solids. So I was pumping a lot. Like I mentioned before, with this pump, you're going to get twice the amount of milk that you would with a manual pump because you have two actual pumper things. This is a double electric pump, so you can pump both of your boobs at the same time, so that was really convenient. Another thing is, although the manual pump I had was very comfortable, it's obviously more comfortable to just sit there and have the pump do the work for you than it is to actually pump. But I don't want you to think that the manual pump was uncomfortable, because it wasn't. It's just you can be more lazy if the pump is doing it for you. This pump was really good. as far as suction, like it got all the milk out of my boobs within like 15 to 20 minutes, and it never actually hurt while I was pumping. And although this pump is very expensive, it is definitely worth the investment if you're going to pump a lot. Like they say, you get what you pay for. You might try to take the cheaper route and get a cheaper electric pump, and then you'll have to replace it and get replacement parts and end up spending more money than you would if you just make the full investment one time. Now, the cons with an electric pump, especially a double electric pump, is usually they're quite heavy and they're noisy. Like, I could never really pump in the nursery while she was sleeping because it is very noisy. Or if you wanted to pump privately, you can't really be too discreet with an electric pump. So although it is quite heavy, it's still travel friendly. I never traveled with it, but it has a bag, so you can travel with it. So for me, those were the main differences between my manual pump and my electric pump. I actually love them both so much, and I'm glad I had them both. I benefited from each of them in different cases and different situations during my pumping journey. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment below. Like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!